Hi there and welcome to another video on my channel. It's been a little while since I've had a chance to do any filming, but as it's Advent I thought I would share with you what I'm doing for Advent. So in the past I've done lots of different things during Advent, but this year I was taking the idea from Jenna Byrne and using Advent Word to choose a word to journal, and I'm not going to do every day. I'm just going to do as and when I get a chance. And so to help me do that, I decided instead of making a big journal, I'd actually make myself a little zine. So I thought first of all I'd show you how I made the zine and then do the first page with you. So simply started off with a sheet of A4 paper. I'm using some sketchbook paper, so it's a little bit heavier than photocopier or printer paper, and I've started off by folding it in half long ways, and then I'm just going to use a bone folder just to make a really nice crisp line fold even. And once I've done that, I then open up that page again and fold it again, but this time the other way. So right across, and then once again using that bone folder just to get a really nice sharp crease down the side. These are really nice little booklets to make. You can use any paper. Sometimes it's nice to use paper that's already got marks on, so you've got a starting point. So once I've done that, the next thing to do is to fold it back on itself, and again using a bone folder to get a really nice sharp crease, but folding it back on itself, and the same on the other side, so that you end up with 8 kind of squares, rectangles, once you open the page out. It's like a concertina fold, but then I'm going to open that up, and the next part I need a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut along the line in the middle just up to the fold, so right across. You can see the sharp crease there, and as much as possible staying on top of that line and cutting right the way through until I get to the crease that's going long ways. You can see it a bit more easily on here. And then I'm going to open up the paper until I then fold it over again and then push it together to get across. So let's fold it in half and then push it together to get the cross. And then from there you just fold it round and you have your little zine. So off camera I just rounded the corners, just using my little paper corner rounder. That's a technical term for it. And then I'm just going to add a front cover. So this is just some paper that I'd used when I've been jelly printing and run my brayer on it. Got these really lovely textures and patterns on there, and I thought it'd be really nice. I really love the colours. I'm thinking about Advent and winter. I thought it'd be a really nice piece to use. And it's, a good lesson to never throw anything away. These are just scrap papers, but they are, really good textures on there. So I'm just using some normal glue, adding that to the front cover, and then stick that paper on top and cut round it. So here's the completed zine. I've added some gold splats with my gold ink on there as well, and inside I have 6 pages, 6 double spreads, which I'm going to use as sort of not daily journaling, just as and when I get a chance throughout this Advent period. It's really important to not put that pressure when you've got when you're busy anyway, it can become just one more thing that you have to do. So instead of putting that pressure on myself to journal every day, it's just going to be as and when I get a chance. So for my first page, I chose the word light, and I pulled out some different materials that I think I might use, as well as a Bible verse that I found in a booklet that I sometimes use. So I've pulled out some Posca pens, a variety of collage papers, and some fabric. I've got this gorgeous tissue paper that was some wrapping on something that's got like flecks and sparkles in it, and just some fabric as well, some bits of sari silk, some inks, and my handmade watercolours that I got for my birthday that are absolutely beautiful. And these are going to go in a little bag afterwards that I can use throughout Advent, just be able to grab them out when I need. So again, I'm not having to think too much when I do have a little bit of time to sit and ponder. And I chose the word light, and one of my favourite Bible verses or sort of bits of the Bible is John's Gospel, the opening of John's Gospel. I love how John describes Jesus coming into the world and being that light in the world. And that's what I was pondering as I did my journaling. I was thinking about Jesus being a light and bringing light into the world, and how at the moment things don't really feel very light. We're in, there's wars going on all around the world. We're hearing on the news the horrific things that are happening around the world, and even in my own life there's things that are not great, and things can feel really heavy and really dark. So once I've done some collage on the page, I'm using this white pen to just write down some of those things, some of those situations that I'm praying for God to bring light into, and where Jesus can be a light into that darkness. And the one thing I love about light is that once there is light in a room, that room is no longer dark. And I think at this time of year, that's such an important thing to remember, that, light overcomes everything, and Jesus is that light, that true light that just overcomes the darkness. Doesn't make it go away necessarily, some of that stuff's still there, but in Jesus we have that hope and we have that light, and that's partly what Christmas signifies for me, that coming of the light into a dark world. And I'm just using some different coloured inks to represent the dark, some dark blue, some black. I've got this beautiful fluorescent magenta, which when it's mixed with blue or black makes a gorgeous purple, and I've added that to the page as well. And then in the middle I'm just adding some white, just to give that contrast between the dark inks and the bright white light. So I'm now just using that white gel pen once again to add the Bible verse that I mentioned earlier. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And I'm just adding that on the page as a reminder of Jesus being that light that overcomes all darkness. And there we have it, the finished page. A really lovely reminder of Jesus being the light coming into the world. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if it inspires you to make your own, I'd love to see that. Tag me over on Instagram, and until next time, goodbye.